Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Probably heard everything in the background. I was getting everything ready. Felt like shit earlier this morning. You want to do? It makes you want to either make love or war. And I don't see any pretty little tatas around today. So I've already heard their bagpipes.
We welcome you back to Gillette Stadium here in Foxborough. Our halftime festivities behind us as we're just about set for the opening kick of the second half.
Sorry, still in mid-roll. Yeah. But yeah, much appreciation to everybody that's been jumping up and watching these. I don't care if you only watch them for 5 seconds. hit a like or a dislike, you know? It might hurt my feelings for a minute that, like, if you dislike a fuck ton of my shit. But then I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter, and algorithms speak, you know what I mean? It still does whatever to the channel, so, yeah, keep that in mind. Here we go. I have my herbal tea, because I fucking been feeling like shit. Let's get it going.
So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in. Touchdown.
Nothing like just slapping, man.
James White, 72 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Extra point try for Gostkowski.
Maybe I'll fucking rethink my day. And I did.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Hard to believe, but the regular season starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again to McCoy. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. And the grab by Croft. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now Edelman. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They go right back to White here on 1st down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, it's White. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. James White, 74 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Even
if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah, a couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for a trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Gostkowski for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off.
Hey, but kick it over the middle now.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Kyle Van Noy. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Allen hands off to McCoy. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Edelman set to return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Patriots take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And some room to roam now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in.
They just can't do that kind of wide.
James
They can't figure it out.
These guys continue to put this one out of reach. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point good by Gostkowski, and that will extend this big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
Why didn't he just throw it down? Like, I mean, I don't get that. That was ridiculous.
Young quarterback, gotta learn. Need to get rid of the football.
Yeah.
Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate
He's got fucking boom.
Exactly
dude
right.
over there.
Internal clock has to go
He's got a dude wide right there. He could have fucking
go.
sent it to. I don't. What the fuck are they doing? I mean, I get it. I don't have it turned way up, the difficulty, but I mean, fuck me. Maybe I gotta do something. Dude, he's pissed.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Hey, Alabama.
1st down, here's White. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown.
They can never figure that out. Especially where I know we're going 1, 2, 3.
Turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Yeah. Look at the pin, the cover, it's over.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much, even one step is enough.
Made my day.
One direction,
I think
and
the
cut
Lord
back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
I have never put up 70 points on the board, ever. Not even in Madden or 6 or 7
and into
or
the end zone
anything.
for 6.
They always treat Brady like total dog shit on this team.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up! Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now in Foxborough, and this is a blowout so far as we get set.
28 points in the second and the third quarter. Are you fucking insane?
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. It's taken on the 25. There he goes, Julian Edelman. And he will score.
Woo!
Touchdown.
You gotta beat the man, the Browns. Well, they beat me, but they didn't know that I was made.
So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Gostkowski with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Bills are certainly happy to have a healthy Tyler Kroft. Remember, he had a season-ending foot injury last year with the Bengals in Week 5. So the Bills get him, and he re-injures that same foot in May in OTAs. But out there now and says he's feeling pretty good. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Allen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw. Going to throw again. He finds his target, John Brown. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Allen going to leave it on the draw for McCoy. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And this one complete to Smith. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 4. McCoy. And McCoy loses the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now a carry for White. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now, it's White. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Focus, defense, focus.
They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. That's caught by his tight end, Matt Lacoste. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And how it turns out, it turns out.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will get into
That little bastard is such a beast.
Touchdown. This thing is
Love
over.
it.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point try for Gostkowski. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Allen now on first down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Isaiah McKenzie that time, and that'll bring up second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Allen, and that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Allen going to go on 4th down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start the drive with a give to White. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots.
Trying to go for a last play to get a last touchdown.
This might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
84 fucking points.
So for New England, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Bob.
All right, let's see what the fuck who we're gonna get. I want to get to the frickin' Super Bowl. Edelman.
incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. The OG spilling knowledge, but it's best to soak in it. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got the chocolate opening. Got them fixing up they eyes, trying to keep the focus thing.
Okay.
I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition.
Who we got?
All that lane switching, this is what the game is.
Dolphins.
It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Alrighty, we're gonna take a quick intermission, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man on his 8th NFL team, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Miami Dolphins, as they'll square off against Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champion, New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the home of the reigning Super Bowl champs, we are inside a sold-out and absolutely rocking Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
They already look like that.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic first down.
Mike 20! Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Now Balaj. And an alley to run. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The numbers on the ground last week for Balaj. 13 carries, 54 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
On second and very short, Fitzpatrick. He finds Kalen Balaj, his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a...
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this Patriot defense up to the challenge once more as they again stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Back deep for New England, Julian Edelman. And I don't think Edelman will be able to get to this one. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Patriots come out led by the 4-time Super Bowl MVP and owner of a record 6 Super Bowl rings. Arguably the greatest to ever play the game, Tom Brady. And we keep asking the same questions every year. How much longer can he keep doing this? Is this the year the dynasty crumbles? And every year Brady comes out and leads his team to the Super Bowl. They've been there now 3 years in a row, and only one team has made it 4. That's the Buffalo Bills. But remember, they lost all 4 in the early 90s. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Brady. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. And how many times have we seen that? 3rd down, and Tom Brady turning to old reliable Julian Edelman. Of course, no Rob Gronkowski now. Edelman, the main holdover, the 33-year-old who was the Super Bowl MVP last season. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. The numbers for White a week ago, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
We always talk about, we always look for guys with fresh legs down the stretch of a long NFL season. Well, in Week 16, he was the AFC Player of the Week, and looks like he's going to be strong for Week 17 as well.
You better bring. You better bring. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring. Alert!
They'll run on 1st down. White, and that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play on that situation.
It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And caught by Thomas for a New England touchdown. Demaryius Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away.
We shall return to this game at a later point. Thank you. Like and subscribe.